As the clock ticks, there's a growing uncertainty about how long the Kinahan Cartel can continue their activities while evading the law. Currently, the Irish police, the UK's National Crime Agency, the European Union's Law Enforcement Agency, and the US State Department are all actively on the hunt for them. Despite a hefty reward of $15 million for tips leading to their arrest, the Kinahans have managed to vanish without leaving many clues. This raises questions. Where have the Kinahans gone? And how long can they stay hidden? With their financial resources blocked and law enforcement agencies worldwide putting in their utmost effort to find them, the pressure is mounting. So are the law enforcement agencies really closing in on the Kinahan Cartel? Let's find out in this video. It's no secret that the influence of the Kinahans extends from the coca fields of South America to Ireland, along the sunny coast of Spain's Costa del Sol, throughout the UK, and even to the glittering deserts of Dubai. For 4 decades, this multi-billion-dollar criminal syndicate has flourished in the clandestine realm of illicit drug trade, inundating nations with their influx of cocaine, weaponry, and acts of violence. Allegations even suggest their ties to groups such as Hezbollah in Lebanon and the infamous Sinaloa cartel in Mexico. However, the tide seems to be turning as the U.S. Treasury enforces sanctions, freezing their assets. Many speculate that the era of freedom for the Kinahans is now ending. The Kinahans have been successful for a long time, but it's uncertain how much longer they can keep their operations running. Daniel Kinahan, the leader of this criminal group, is believed to be in Iran, a country with no extradition agreements or even good relations with the US and Ireland. His exact location and how long he'll stay in Iran are unknown, making it hard for law enforcement to track him down. So where might the Kinahans be hiding? To fully understand the Kinahan criminal group and the incidents that caused global concern, we need to delve deeper. Who exactly are the Kinahans, and what specific events made them so notorious that they're now the focus of a global manhunt? Learning these details helps us understand their past and might provide hints about where they might be now. In the 1970s, Christy Kinahan Sr.'s journey from a minor lawbreaker to a feared drug trafficker took root. During this era, Dublin was just beginning to grapple with the impact of heroin, largely attributed to the Dunn crime family, Ireland's foremost criminal organization. Christy Kinahan, then a young and relatively low-profile offender, discerned an opportunity for ascent. Despite enjoying a comfortable upbringing and receiving a good education, he opted for the path of crime. Renowned as a kickboxing champion in the 1970s, Kinahan was already a familiar face to the police due to various minor offenses. His burgeoning ambition became evident as he climbed the ranks to establish himself as one of the most perilous drug dealers in the scene. Kinahan's entry into drug trafficking was with his partner, Thomas Cavanaugh. His criminal skills were evident when he was arrested with a large amount of heroin during his father's funeral procession on September 14, 1986. This led to a 6-year jail sentence in 1987, where Kinahan learned Russian and Spanish and made important connections, including with John Cunningham, a key figure in the Guinness kidnapping case. After his release, Kinahan went to Amsterdam, a major drug center in Europe, and started smuggling cocaine and marijuana into Ireland and the UK. But he secretly wanted revenge against Raymond Salinger, a former ally he blamed for his imprisonment. Salinger, who had escaped to the UK, returned to Dublin in 2002 and was killed in 2003, allegedly on orders from Christie's son Daniel. This was the first murder known to be committed by the Kinahan Cartel. Christy Kinahan subsequently shifted his operations to Spain, involving his sons Daniel and Christopher Jr. in the enterprise. Their empire rapidly expanded, reaching into South America and the Middle East, solidifying their status as major suppliers of drugs, money laundering, and weapons across Europe. The scope of the cartel's activities was so extensive that when Spanish police apprehended them in 2010, it triggered raids across Europe, Brazil, and Dubai, revealing the global financial interests. Despite these efforts, the court cases in Spain faltered, allowing the Kinahans to persist in their illicit pursuits. Christy Sr., widely known as Dapper Don, remained a key player in the criminal empire, while Daniel turned to boxing as a means to legitimize their funds. By 2018, Daniel had become involved in arms and drug deals, with Christy Jr. managing the finances. The Kinahan Cartel, recognized for its sophisticated operations and penchants for violence, is now closely monitored by international law enforcement. They employ shell companies for drug trafficking and money laundering, resorting to extreme violence to maintain control. The cartel has been implicated in numerous murders across Europe. On September 25, 2015, during Gary Hutch's funeral, his mother pleaded for an end to the violence, but her pleas went unheeded as clashes continued between rival gangs. The situation escalated when Jerry the Monk Hutch barely survived an assassination attempt in Larat in 2015. However, the most violent incident occurred during the Regency Hotel shooting on February 5, 2016. At a boxing event in Dublin, 3 men dressed as police officers, armed with AK-47s, along with 2 others, one disguised as a woman, launched an attack. Although their target, Daniel Kinahan, managed to escape, his associate, David Byrne, lost his life. This shocking incident, captured on video, marked a pivotal moment in Irish gang conflicts and triggered a more robust police response. It ignited a gang war that claimed 18 lives and dealt a severe blow to the Kinahan Cartel's operations. The UK's National Crime Agency, the EU's Law Enforcement Agency, and the US State Department all actively joined the search for the Kinahans. Daniel sought refuge in Dubai, joining Christy Sr. and Jr., but their departure didn't quell the violence in Dublin. Liam Byrne's arrest in Malta highlighted the risks they faced beyond Dubai. The feud persisted, resulting in more casualties, including Eddie Hutch Sr. and even an innocent bystander. While in Dubai, the Kinahans' enterprise thrived, showcased at Daniel Kinahan's wedding, attended by international criminal figures. However, they aimed to present a legitimate front. Christy Jr. excelled at money laundering, Daniel established businesses and promoted boxing, and Christy Sr. worked as an aviation consultant. Despite these efforts, authorities were closing in, scrutinizing their associates and freezing assets. The first significant blow occurred on January 12, 2019, with the arrest of Thomas "Bomber" Kavanagh at Birmingham Airport. His involvement in a substantial smuggling operation was exposed, and a raid on his Tamworth residence uncovered weapons and money. Kavanagh's 21-year sentence dealt a significant blow to the cartel's operations in the UK. In 2019, the Kinahans caught the attention of the U.S. after a huge cocaine seizure in Philadelphia, raising suspicions about their involvement. This led to more monitoring of their activities. Daniel Kinahan's accidental exposure through Tyson Fury's tweet in June of 2020 brought even more attention, showing his connection to major U.S. boxing events. The situation worsened in April of 2022 when the U.S. Treasury sanctioned Christy Kinahan and his sons, offering a $5 million reward for information. This led to the UAE freezing their assets. Another problem came in September of 2022 with the arrest of Johnny Cash Morrissey, a key person in their money laundering. Over 70 Kinahan associates have been arrested in Ireland, Britain, and Spain. Present law enforcement efforts focus on bringing charges against Daniel and Christy Jr. Kinahan for leading organized crime and orchestrating feud-related murders. Evidence from encrypted devices and various investigations links them to drug trafficking, arms smuggling, and multiple murder plots. Increased public awareness and U.S. sanctions have prompted many groups to sever ties with the Kinahans. Daniel's business endeavors have also taken a hit. The trial against them is imminent, and although they initially fled to the UAE, there are indications that Daniel Kinahan may have to relocate to Iran. The whereabouts of the other Kinahans remains unknown. For similar content, don't forget to check out the other videos on your screen.